good.
Who called me, bro?
And you know what? Ever since I turned this phone off and re-downloaded the app, the audio been good on the playback too. So, you know. But yeah, y'all live.
Shalom, Yeshua. First and foremost, we want to give all praises and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ba'akwadash.
Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to those who are Akim that preach the word in all truth and sincerity. So when the Hebrew Israelites here to prophesy American downfall, which America, according to the scriptures, is Babylon the Great or the daughter of Babylon. And we're here to teach repentance and warnings to our people, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. You know, and the Lord has us on the highways and byways another Sunday to proclaim His will, man. You know, and whatever power with the scripture. What was this how lesson again, bro?
When Yahweh arises to judgment.
Okay, when Yahweh arises to judgment, because the scriptures talking about the Lord is the God of judgment.
Yeah.
You know, and the Lord is going to recompense all those that have done wickedly in the flesh, man.
That's right.
This
Shalom.
First Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if at
And
first
what's the house of the Most High? The house of the Most High is the Israelite camps, man. You know, because we are held more accountable than all these other people out here that don't know they're Israelites, man. Because we know what to do to please the Lord, which is following the laws, His commandments, and going out on the highways and byways and obeying His voice, man. You know.
it says, and if it first begin at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh?
Right, the end of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh is death, man. You know, which we understand that only the elect of Israel will repent and believe and be saved, man. But we understand that 2/3 of Israel, according to Zechariah 13:8, is going to utterly perish by way of nuclear fire and the heat of nation. So that's the latter end of their life, man. You know?
It says, and if the righteous scarcely be saved,
And right, scarcely means barely, you know, because when the missiles come to hit ground zero in America, our Lord Yahweh Shai and the angels that will come through the chariots of Israel, the so-called UFO, is going to beam them up right before the missiles hit, man. So that's an example of scarcely being saved. And also doing Jacob's trouble. You know, some of us may be on when we put to death, you know. The Lord said He's going to grant that His protection on His elect so they won't befall the evil, man.
Yeah.
You know?
it says, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
Yep.
Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Yahweh commit the keeping of their souls to Him in well-doing as unto a faithful Creator.
Yeah. You know, Yahweh is the faithful creator, man. You know, we subject ourselves to Him by doing what He said, man.
Yeah.
You know, keeping the law, statutes, commandments, you know, going out on the highways and byways, feeding the Lord's lands, throughout our daily sit-downs, our daily lessons, you know, to help edify the sheep. Edify means to build up.
Yeah.
We not only build up ourselves, we build up those that hear us, man. Following with the apostles, elders, and great millstones.
Yeah.
You know? So we want to be able to do those good works that are pleasing unto the Lord, man. Because they are specific works that the elect will do, you know, through the fear of the Lord, man. You know, now we understand that according to the scriptures, that the law is not going to save you. Because the scriptures say that if you offend at one point, meaning sin in one law, then you're guilty of all. So we're not guilty, we're not justified in the law, but we still keep it because we do Christ's acts. But the certain works that the elect will have through the fear of the Lord will be this.
2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 6. by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed.
And the works is talking about the works of Yahweh Shai, man. You know, which is, you know, having faith, you know, standing up for truth, you know, preaching the gospel. The Lord has allowed you to do that because now our brothers got a spirit to teach. You know, some brothers are just believers, but the scriptures talk about faith without works is dead, man. So you show your works by way, your works prove that your love towards the Most High. You know? Because a lot of Christians say that, you know, they do a lot of lip service in saying that they love the Lord, but the Lord requires action, man.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord's not going to settle for less or more. The Lord is requiring action. You know.
Yep.
1 John 3:18. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth.
It said neither in tongue, right? It said in deed and in truth. Indeed, your deeds represent your works, your actions. You know, so which will be, you know, making your body a living sacrifice. You know, going out on the highways and byways, on a week in, week out. You know, praying and fasting, which are the ways how you worship the Lord, man. You know, not getting seduced by the ways of the wicked. You know, being sober-minded, not being drunk with the cares of this world and that Babylon juice, man.
Yeah.
You know, being that new creature that's renewed in Yahweh Shai, man. See?
Yeah.
Romans 12:1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh.
And now
that
this is Apostle Paul speaking to the church of Corinth, which Corinth was in Greece. You know, and he was speaking to the Israelite foreigners that may have looked like so-called white men, but the line of far side went back to the Israel. They may have had bald heads and togas. They may have had bald heads and togas, tattoos to show the customs of the Greeks.
They wore a hat.
Yeah, wore a hat. You know, as the apostle broke down yesterday.
Yo, where you reading that?
Romans 12.
Okay. That was an epistle to the Israelites that was scattered in Rome.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like
Yeah. It's all right, brother. That's why you got brothers here, you know.
That's right. Scattered in Rome. It's like,
Yeah.
but Apostle Paul did go to a church in Corinth. It's in Greece.
Yeah.
That ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service.
So this is acceptable to what we're doing, man. Coming out here because we could possibly die out here, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's been accounts of brothers in the faith that have died on the highways and byways due to a scoffer, unbeliever coming up and, you know, slaying the brother, man. But guess what? That's pleasable because the scriptures talk about how the Lord. Because if he died the Lord physically, man, that's a great sacrifice, man. You know, which a lot of people are not willing to do. See?
And it says Psalms 116 and 15. Precious is the sight of the Lord. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of the saints.
Yeah, so precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of the saints. So the Lord looks at you like you guys precious if you die in the faith, man, doing his will. You know?
Yeah, I was saying it's spiritual because when you're out here, you don't even really think about death.
Oh, yeah.
You don't really think about, oh, this guy come up here, what he got, because the scriptures talk about how, you know, as us being in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah, we're bold, man.
Yeah.
So we're not out here thinking about that. We're just out here thinking about how we can please the Heavenly Father and His Son to the fullest capability, man.
Hey, but that's what that dude came to trying to, because he was a demon, you know, and we ignored him, but that's what he was trying to sow out here.
Right.
It's not a lot of, you know, so-called black people out over here. You know, the Mexicans, they be spraying Mason people, even the black woman. And we just let him talk and just, you know.
He was mad.
Huh?
He was mad.
Yeah, let him, you know,
His own tongue was condemning him.
Yeah.
Like, we spiritual and everything in the scriptures we
Right.
know about, right? And he said like about 9-10 things
Yeah.
straight against what we believe in.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know
But
what
that's
I'm
why in the Apocrypha it says a trial of a man may be known in his
saying?
speech.
Yeah.
You know, you just let a nigga talk and then, you know,
Which, you know, you can get that same treatment with your so-called blacks too, because Bible talks about the curses.
Yeah.
Evil eye towards your brother, man.
yeah,
So they just think when it's just the Hispanics, they just fuck them. But now you can get the
Yeah.
same ill will treatment against your own tribe. your
Yeah.
nation.
and he was all about murder, man.
Yeah.
You know, because it was premeditated.
Right.
Somebody do that, I'm gonna do this. You already confessed it that if you have to kill somebody, it's already premeditated. And shalom to all the Akim on the comment board.
This is verse 2. Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Shout out to someone look up the word. I was like, look the word.
Yeah. Conform. Coming right up.
Now, the apostle taught us, you know, we always gotta go into the etymology of words, into the Greek and Hebrew, to know, to get the definition of them, to get a better understanding of them. You know, and that spirit was taught by the apostles and great ministers in the spirit of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, that's called being diligent too, man.
Thorough understanding, give it wisdom.
Diligent, thorough, yeah. So this word conform, it goes back to the Greek word sysmatizo, and it says to conform oneself, one's mind and character to another's pattern.
Yeah, so we're not supposed to be compatible with the pattern of this world,
Yeah,
you know, by way of our mindset, man.
Yeah.
Because what did Apostle Paul say? How Yahweh Shai say? Basically, if you have a defiled mindset, you cannot enter to the kingdom of heaven.
yeah,
You know, that this Westernized living, this Babylonian mentality, man. Those are people that are engulfed in that. You're not gonna make it to the kingdom with that mindset.
No.
Man. This feminine spirit,
yeah,
black culture, Hispanic culture, Native American culture, all those ways were genetically engineered by Esau to keep you astray from Yahweh Shema
Yeah.
Shai, man. You know?
And I want to add this because the times that we're entering into, the type of moves and decisions that we're gonna be making is gonna be led through the Spirit. You know, like Apostle Gabar did this week. You know, he spoke about spirit guides, which is the angels through the will and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, leading us to make, you know, right decisions. If you are in a worldly mentality and you exercising worldly, you know, decision-making skills, you finna get put to death because Esau's system is geared towards destruction. And if you're using worldly decision-making, you're gonna get destroyed out here, man. You know?
That's why the scriptures talking about, you know, to be spiritual minded is life and peace.
Yeah.
To be carnal minded is death. Can we get that real quick? Romans 8. Because the Lord hates when you're carnal. You know, meaning you're fleshly. You know, you're not spiritual. Because that's how the nation of Israel, as a people, when you read the different accounts about our forefathers, they were spiritual, man. You know, they didn't just lash out just because of something unexpected happened that, you know, caused them to get an L in the flesh. They were spiritual. Well, this is the will of the Lord. This is what the Lord ordained for this to happen. You know.
That's why the scriptures say, make not haste in a time of trouble. Esau makes haste in a time of trouble. That's when you read Genesis, the 25th chapter. You know, he gave our forefather, he gave up to our forefather Jacob that birthright. He made a decision in haste. Haste is the so-called, it's one of the white man's haste. That's not for us to have, like the brother said. You know, we make spiritual. We understand Yahweh Shema Shai, so we understand that. Look, if something happens, this has to be the will of the Lord. So we have to wait, sit back, you know, and wait for specific things to happen in the Lord's will.
That's right. Yeah, that word haste means impatient. You know, when you look it up.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse, I'm going to start at 5. It says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
Yeah, what's the flesh?
their idols must be born.
Yeah.
It says, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
Right. And who's our after the Spirit? The men that's in this truth, man. The elect. You know, the Israelites in the truth.
It says, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Yeah, so to be carnally minded is death, man. You know, because like you were bringing out earlier, that was the way of Esau. You know, he made a hate decision, an impatient decision, which and what cost him, which it was all set up in the spirit anyways for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, for Jacob to have the birthright, because it was his
Yeah.
to belong with in the first place. But everything was written 4 times while learning.
Yeah.
So, you know, he made an impatient decision, and what cost him? The birthright, man.
Yeah.
Because the birthright didn't only apply to him, it applied to his whole nation, you see. You know, so that was a selfish act that he did.
Yeah.
You know?
It says, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh,
Yeah, enmity means hatred. The Lord hates a hatred, enemy, a carnal ass nigga, man. You know? How we gonna get delivered? You know, these other Israelites can't speak. There was no chariots. You know? Things of that sort. And that's the carnal minded man.
what was one body in Yahweh Shai, the Lord didn't do no miracles.
Yeah.
Man, come on now.
So,
But no, I was just gonna say to the spirit, you know, which one of the ways of deliverance that's gonna take place out here spiritually wise are miracles.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Scriptures call it strangeness.
Yeah.
Strangeness of our salvation.
Right.
You got something?
There's a little- Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh.
Yeah, so if you're engulfed in this flesh, you know, engulfed in trying to make it in the society of your Israelites, man, because this word is only for your Israelites.
Yeah.
So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. If you're trying to establish getting that white big house with white picket fence,
Yeah.
nice car, nice job, man, this world gonna fail you, man.
American dream.
American dream, which is really a nightmare for your
Yeah.
Israelites,
Yeah.
because you're in a cursed state and now you're in captivity. It wasn't involved over here to prosper, man. That's the thing. Our people, you know, they think that they be envious at the workers of iniquity, which is Esau,
Mm-hmm.
envying thou oppressor, and they want to be just like you.
Yeah.
That's why it says, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways, man. Why? Because his ways is opposed towards our heritage, man. You know? His ways are not pleasing and satisfying to the Lord. You gotta shave your beard. You know, if you have a beard in society, for the most part, people look at you crazy. I mean, now Jake's having more now because it's a trend, but really having a beard is not a trend. It's the reason why the Lord had you grow a face hair on your face to separate you, differentiate you from a man and a woman.
Then you'll have news that will come up against you, against particular things in the law, but they'll have a whole smooth shaven face. Do you believe in the 10 laws? Like, come on. You know? Whole smooth, like the brother was dealing with that last week. Do a whole Islam, like trying to tell us about the law, but your badge of manly dignity isn't on your face. You know? Verse 9. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. And so be that the spirit of Yahweh dwell in you. Now if any man have not the spirit of Yahweh Shai, he is none of his.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. You want to be part elect. You want to be of Yahweh Shai's, man. Be of the first fruits. You know, because if you're not of the Lord's, then you through, man. You know, that's why we show 4 or 5 deeds in this truth. You know, so we can lead to the Lord.
Brought up the beasts. So this 2 Peter 2:12. But these as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption.
Yeah, so natural food beasts, they go off for instincts. Our people, that's what our people do. Birds, they go off for instinct. They don't go off for, reasoning and logic. They go on to the scripture.
I got the Greek definition of root. It's just exactly how you said it. It goes back to the Greek out.
It's all emotions. It's not. They don't have a sound mind, man. It's making sound judgment.
I got an example. You can have a dog or a beast be walking down the street. They hear this siren go off. Yeah.
See, like wherever we at, they come. Wherever we at,
Yeah. You can have a beast, with you off the leash or whatever, and they hear those sirens, they'll run straight in the street and get hit by a car, like not exercising discernment, none of that. Just, thinking that they finna deliver themselves, and they end up getting in a fucked up situation. I actually experienced that. My dog, somebody honked the horn, and my dog, he ran straight into the damn window. Fucked his head up. Now, I got some topics tossed out, and whichever brother wanna hit it, Gentiles.
Yeah, because now when you read about the Gentiles in the blessed way in the New Testament, it's talking about the Israelite foreigners that was alienated.
All right now.
That was alienated from their heritage, because during the Greek Empire, you had a devil, an Edomite, by the name of Antiochus Epiphanes IV, which he made a decree that all our people were supposed to be Hellenized, follow the Greek custom, having bald head, togas, worshiping Greek gods, Zeus, Jupiter, not having our sons, our male sons, to be circumcised on the 8th day. And whoever didn't keep the customs of the Greeks was put to death, man. First Matthew 1:41. Because during this time, the Greek Empire, which in the Roman Empire, that was the Greco-Roman Empire. Because you had the customs of the Greeks that was still in Rome. Our people was following.
The Greeks had an influence on the Roman culture.
Yeah. So our people, they was still following that, And when Yahweh Shai came on the scene, that was not too far from the Greek Empire,
Yep. First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
So at this time, this is a new world order, that all should be one people, one in mindset, concerning being a Greek, a Hellenist, You had, during this time, you had the Maccabees, which was our righteous forefathers led by Judas Maccabees, which was first led by his father,
Mattathias.
Mattathias, man. That rebelled against the Greeks to stand up for truth and follow our laws and commandments, man.
Mattathias, there was Levites.
Yeah. Yep. So that proves the Levites, they can get down too. Because the scriptures talk about the Levites were mighty men too. What you got?
It said Mattathias, he slew that Israelite that was going to go, sacrifice.
On the altar.
Altar, said that he slew him with the zeal. So out of the zeal of the Heavenly Father, faith, he slew that wicked Israelite, man.
Hey, that's probably through the Spirit. That was probably Phineas. Yeah. Because they had the same type of mentality,
It says, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Yeah, so all the heathens, they agreed because the law wasn't given to them in the first place. But when our people did that, that was the problem, man. You had some sellouts among our people that sold out.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Can heathen be applied to Israelites?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you had Isaiah the first chapter, the Lord called our people, "Oh, you Sodom and Gomorrah," meaning we know that they were the Canaanites, but they were being like the Canaanites in spirit, being homosexuals and stuff.
I got a precept for you. Second Esdras, chapter 2. You can speak.
Yeah, so sometimes the Lord did call us by heathens. We wasn't actual heathens, but He called us heathens spiritually because we were following the deeds of the heathens. Being moles and worshiping the heathen.
Look at a lot of the Greeks and stuff like that.
They had long hair. It's cool that the Lord did call us by heathens. Isaiah 1.
I got a precept real quick.
I got it.
This is Matthew 18 and 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it to the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen, a man, and a public.
Yeah, because you're supposed to abide to the order of the camp. But if you're just being disobedient, then you're like a heathen.
I'll pull it after.
And it's Isaiah chapter 1, verse 10. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our power, ye people of Gomorrah.
Yes. Now, the Lord wasn't addressing the actual Sodom and Gomorrah, the Canaanites. He was addressing the Israelites that were following their ways.
Yeah.
They were being spiritual heathens. They were.
Chapter 2. Was you done, Ra?
Yeah.
Chapter 2, verse, I'll start at 33, pointers in 34. I, Esdras, received a charge of the Lord upon the Mount Oreb, that I shall go unto Israel. But when I came unto them, they set me at naught and despised the commandment of the Lord. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand that shall come in the end of the world, which is Yahweh.
Yeah. So for Esdras to address our people as heathens, proves that the Lord, likened us as a heathens spiritually.
Yeah.
It's like our people are living like heathens right now. That's not in its truth. Worshiping all the pagan holidays, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Valentine's Day, birthdays, those are heathen customs. See?
We entering into the time of the year, we fast approaching to where there's 3 back-to-back heathenistic holidays, man. But you got October, November, December, man.
Yeah.
And then you got I think like Veterans Day or something like that. You got 9/11 coming. You got a lot of things coming up that's just simply heathenistic, that our people, they're gonna be out there, partying it up, man.
And it's this yearly cycle that keeps them in bondage.
We get to speak of Gentiles. So, but that's good you asked that question, because we can apply our people as heathens in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
So you can apply it to Old and New Testament.
I got another one real quick. This is Ezekiel 16, verse 3. Sorry, 1. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abomination. So the context is about Israel, right? And say, thus saith Yahweh unto Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Because we were birthed in the land of Canaan. That's when, we became, we were brought up. We was given our land, and the Lord was dealing with us, right?
Before the land of before the land of Israel was called land of Canaan because the Canaanites built it.
That land
Yeah.
was promised to us. Yeah, it's gonna be
Uh-huh.
our promised land.
And it says here, because some of these people, these people with these different doctrines, they be bringing this out. Thy father was an Amorite and thy mother a Hittite. Now, those go back to the line of Ham. But what is being said here is this is how we start conducting ourselves.
Yeah.
We start conducting ourselves like these Hamites and these Canaanites, going back to Isaiah, the 1st chapter. So not that we were actually birth of Hamites, all right, because we came through, Shem, on down to Arphaxad, on down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? But, when we was in our land, we became like the heathen. We wanted the king, we wanted to, worship these idols, these heathens, sacrificing our children, worshiping the sun, moon, and the stars, all the hosts of heaven, so on and so forth.
Abominations and shit.
We started going after diviners and soothsayers, just like the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Hittites.
And that's why we go into the history. The Lord said that I'm not going to drive out all these Canaanites from before you.
Yeah.
Because, ultimately the Lord's testing us as a nation, going to judge us.
Yeah.
But that was a snare unto our people.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, they started following their customs. Because
Get hot.
I got some napkins in the car, bro.
Biblical map. Israel was right in the middle of all those heathen nations. To the south, you had Edom. To the southeast, you had Moab, Ammon.
They said kept back by fraud because when you really look at even like
Gotta
it
have
says
two phones.
laborers kept back by fraud. When you look at the system, or even like the pay system, they tax you. Then they tax you what? Then if you don't pay your taxes throughout the year, or if you go exempt, the state or whatever state you live in, you owe them. And then they got 401k, which takes a percentage of money out of your check. Say you stop at say you start a job at 40, your 401k. You really don't. You really don't enjoy your 401k till you're about 50, 60 retired, man. That's fraud, man.
But then look, the way the economy is set up, yeah, you can get you a 401k and all that, but is the value of the money gonna be the same or better when you retire?
Right.
Here it is, you 70, right? When you was in your 20s, shit, $100,000 a stretch.
Right.
But then you get to your 80s, $100,000 is like $10,000 in those days.
Right.
See, those are things Jake don't understand. Or I was told I need to have a 401k. I need to pay into my 401k. So when I retire, I have all this money. You don't know how money works.
Yep.
The dollar gets devalued over time.
And that's why real money is gold and silver,
Yeah.
precious stones.
Yeah.
Because those things don't devalue. And that's, like Apostle Hart said, that's the most high money.
Yeah.
How you gonna devalue something the most high thing?
Yep. And it says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud. Pride and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
Which Sabaoth means armies, the Lord of armies. So the Lord is hearing all the cries of the oppressed, man.
Yeah.
Starting out with Israelites in the truth. But also, the Lord is also hearing the cries of Jake that's not the truth too. Because they still his people.
Yeah.
So,
And it says kept back by fraud because this whole monetary system is fraudulent, man. Because they call the currency that we use FRNs, Federal Reserve Notes, which isn't backed by anything. Fiat currency. They can switch up the currency this month, and next month it could be a whole new currency, which that's their plan with the whole MOTB. It's gonna come a time where 1 week we was able to use cash, but the next, if you ain't got the MOTB, you can't buy or sell.
know they stay subject to change.
Oh, yeah.
Any minute, you know.
Yeah.
We know that's how they are.
Yeah.
In Psalm 72 and 4, he shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy.
This applies to our Lord Yahweh. You know, I believe this was the song for Solomon. The sound
And it says, and shall break in pieces the oppressor.
Yeah, that's what Yahweh gonna do. Break in pieces, man. Break in pieces his chariots, his fighter jets. You know, he's gonna completely dissolve all his military might, man. All his hosts of heaven is gonna fall down to the ground.
Yeah.
You know, the few, the proud, the Marines. You know, man, these motherfuckers gonna be like women that day.
They're gonna be drowning, man.
Yeah.
Lord might
Yahweh
have.
kick.
I was gonna say the Lord may have a great fish swallow up them Navy men in them ships, man, like he did with Jonah.
Leviathan.
Oh man,
Lord use Leviathan.
use a Leviathan again to bite them ships, man.
The Navy ships, because that's what it was saying the Titanic. I think the sailor said that not even God can destroy this.
Oh no. Yeah.
It's what was it called? Cargo.
Titanic.
Titanic. You know? So that was pride right there. And the spirit, you know, the apostle said that the Lord sent the Leviathan to, you know, cause like a hole in the ship, man, so it can sink.
And it say in I want to say in the Psalms or Proverbs, it say, "There go Leviathan, there go the ships."
You had it was I think almost
And it's like that. And Leviathan, so the audience can understand, is they were called Godzilla today.
Yeah. Now we don't know if it's one or it's many of them, you know, because the Lord, when you read the story of creation, He made things in abundance. You know, just like how you come across the word Jacob, it's not talking about actual, you know, depending on the context, it's not talking about actual Jacob. It's talking about you know, his descendants, which are as the stars of heaven. You know, you can't number them, or as the sand of the sea, you can't number them. So, man, Lord made some as Leviathan. You get to looking around. There's so many Leviathans, and they all big as hell, man.
That's
All,
scary.
you know.
they had I'll speak on it real quick. So it says Sunday 25th April 2021, photos show missing Indonesian Navy submarine found broken up in a sea, and it was brought out that an actual creature that they had caught in the sea had did that to that Indonesian submarine, and 53 people were killed in it. So, hey man, like the brothers bringing out Leviathan, these different specific sea creatures, especially toward the end of this man's rulership, the Lord's going to start bringing out specific things that are uncommon for the eyes of that are uncommon that the eyes of man have seen. And when they showed the picture of this creature, man, they don't got it on here. But somebody had the picture of it, man. I think I put it in the chat. But you know, this creature, man, it looked crazy, man. It looked like something that you'd be like, oh hell, like what the hell is that? And it said the submarine was broken into 3 parts, man. Perfectly broken into 3 parts, man. Not torn apart, blown up by a ICBM missile. It was perfectly broken into parts because the submarine is meant to go under. It's meant to go underwater and survive specific amount of pressure under the sea. So there are specific creatures that are bound to that pressure, that can go into that pressure, that these doubles can, you know, there are submarines that the technology can't go past, man. So the Lord can have these specific creatures that are in the depth of the bottom of the sea that can survive these pressures come up, man. You know, like what he's talking about the Bible.
Yeah, when Esau sent his, you know, those ships with those different technologies, they may think they seeing like mountains and stuff down there. That might be animals laying down, like, you know, certain animals, because Esau, like a turtle, if you're not paying attention to the turtles laying in the bottom of the sea, you'll think it's just a rock or something, you know. And then like there's some creatures that can withstand large amounts of pressure, and then they be light as a feather, man. But then here Esau got all this heavy equipment going down there, can't go down there that far. Lord has really set bounds for this devil that he cannot pass.
Sirach 43 and 32. They are yet in greater things than these be, for we have seen but few of his works.
Yeah.
You only see few of his works, man. And there's certain creatures that came out the ocean, certain fish, they had like human teeth.
Oh yeah.
You know? And certain birds, I forgot what bird it was, they say it was the loudest bird, but how it sounded, it was like weird. I never heard that sound before. Like, it was out of this world. Like, Lord got certain sounds,
Oh yeah.
sound frequencies that you hear, like, it was scary. You know,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is that? You know?
Yes.
Be in this kingdom, you're limited to everything, man.
Yeah, because Esau just wants you to believe what he classifies as truth. Anything outside of what Esau determines, anything outside of what Esau determines is truth, it's a conspiracy or it's, you know, it's a myth.
Yeah, some grievous looking creatures like an anglerfish, got light on his head with teeth. That shit look scary, bro.
I got a
Piranhas.
Yep.
Oh man, they look scary.
Yeah.
Them is
And that's a
demons,
whole
bro.
spirit right there.
Yeah.
Like they all got one mind. Let's eat this small. This
Until until he's gone.
Corn. Yeah, that's a spirit.
They eat you quick too.
Hey, but that's how diseases are, you know. Apostle Har said disease. You know, if you look at a disease in a virus in a microscope, it looks like little demons. And then there was a article or a picture that surfaced of someone getting a cancer taken out of them, and they took a picture of it, and it looked like it was some shit with some teeth on it, man.
This is Isaiah 28 and 21. For the Lord shall rise up as in Mount Perazim. He shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, to bring to pass his act, his strange act.
Yeah, so Lord we saw these strange wonders, man. You know, to make it inhabitants of the earth acknowledging that there's a higher power than Esau, man. Because like Pastor Hart said, the world's gonna find out Esau, you're a nobody, man. You know, you just a peasant with power. That's it. And you can't do nothing outside your sword, man. Because Jay can handle you hand-to-hand combat all day. You know,
Run fast.
run fast. You know, got stamina.
Yeah.
Got that.
You don't see Edomites in a 100-yard dash.
Yeah.
All you see be Jakes right there. They be from different countries, but they'd be all Jakes right there on the 100-yard dash. Southern King.
You saying both?
Yeah.
He's a Benjaminite, right?
Yeah. Edomites could probably do that long distance cross country shit.
Marathon.
But remember, Cain, he had to get the fuck up out of. He had to go far, you know. And they was traveling from when they broke the yoke of Judah. They went all the way up there to where them Greeks and shit was at, man. So Esau, he can go long distances.
That's why them doubles, you know, they had to put the spirit on these doubles to get that Gatling gun, man. Because what, the natives, they had the guerrilla warfare, it was hiding the trees, camouflage, everything Esau did camouflage from, man. All Esau's battle tactics and specific things he stole from the attributes of the tribes, man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they were hiding from us, so to prevent that, we should make our clothes like theirs.
Yeah, he's a robber and a thief. He steals heritages, he steals everybody else's ideas, and he just got a melting pot of everybody's culture and ideas.
And he's a vagabond and a fugitive, so he's always hiding his identity.
Yeah.
Naming shit after his own names, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to
Naming shit after the people he
stuck
take over.
in.
Yeah.
Like one, it was Israelite. He was talking about Zebulon. I forgot his name, man. But Wolverine is inspired by him. And the time he they cut off his arms, so he couldn't fight. So he had like some blades, swords. He started killing them. You know?
Damn. I'm pretty sure he needed help with that.
Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, Neither keepeth that home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Yeah, that's keeping some all nations. That's a new world order. Get everybody chipped. And it says he keeps not at home. If you watch, what's some type of videos you know, like be going to Thailand? And,
Oh yeah, they just vlogs, travel vlogs.
yeah, travel blogs. Yeah, they known for going to different countries, experiencing their culture. And, you know, he don't keep at home, man, because he's not satisfied with his portion of land that he got.
But, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Esau, he's known, like you're saying, Cain, they had a fleet. He had a fleet. So no man won't kill him because that mark the Lord set upon him was leprosy.
It says, let's go. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his.
Yeah, because Esau, he's gathering up all the resources from these heathen countries that's not even his. You know, he's taking it like it's just, you know, and he's taking it by way of military force. Poppy fields, getting that opium and you know, Afghanistan, Iran and stuff. You know, because when them troops go over there, them troops be wicked as fuck. You know?
Oh yeah.
They showed you that on.
They be exercising lordship over them.
Yeah, what was that movie called, man? He was a sniper. Was it
Saving Private Ryan.
I believe it. Nah, it was Platoon.
Oh, okay.
Platoon. When all the Edomites raping one by one, but how they was doing it though. You know? Yeah.
It
I had
says,
to watch that.
Yes,
woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long, and to him that laddeth himself with a thick clay.
yeah. That's death. In all these countries, all the international bankers is about y'all. So how you gonna owe someone that person stole from you, man?
I stole this land, but you
Yeah.
gotta buy property from me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a righteous takeover either, man. Hey, that's why, what is it, Nahum, you know, built his cities upon witchcraft.
Yeah, Nahum 3.
This place is solely built on witchcraft. Like, look, you got the Queen of Heaven right there, right? The Starbucks sign, you know, and these different pharmacies and stuff like that. You know, like Walgreens, the W is an actual snake, man. You know, that snake, what is that? The staff with the two snakes around it. You know, the medical facility goes back to what's it called? Staff with a snake, man.
It's a term. It's
name for it. It's a medical. The medical sign is a witchcraft sign.
something capice.
Yeah, I seen that one.
Yeah, man, I forget the name of it.
They trying to be like, you know,
Vesca Pisces or something like that, maybe.
Caduceus.
Oh yeah, could do. Yeah.
Caduceus.
There you go.
Caduceus. And that's one.
they really trying to copy my heritage. But that was a represent the braids and serpent.
Yeah.
When the Israelites were getting bit by the snakes,
Poisonous snakes.
poisonous snakes, they were dying, and whoever looked on the braids and serpent that Moses made, they would get healed. But the medical industry is not healing you people.
Oh man.
It's been putting demons on you by way of pills,
Yeah.
side effects.
Their logo used to be the cauldron. Spoon in it representing witchcraft, how they make potions.
Yeah.
The RX next to it, like that's your prescription, is potions.
And so you got Caduceus, and you you got you got one that's called the staff of Hermes, which is, this all goes back to the same thing anyway. They just put it in different form, just like Christmas. You know, goes back to Nimrod. They just dress it up different. You know, and this one's called the rod of Asclepius. And it says in Greek mythology, which goes to show you that America follows the customs of the Greeks, the Romans, all these specific kingdoms back then that once ruled the earth at a point in time. It's just, that's why they call this place what, a melting pot, man. You know? It says also known as the staff of also known as the staff of Asclepius, Lord willing I'm saying it right, and as the Asclepian
It's cold.
is a serpent entwined rod wielded by the Greek god Asclepius, a deity associated with healing and medicine. Theories have been proposed about
Shit
the
hot.
Greek origin of the symbol and its implications. So these specific medical facilities, and you'll see this specific staff and stuff on these buildings or inside of them, whatever the case may be. These actually go back to Greek mythology, you know, for medicine or whatever the case may be. Which we know that these medicines that they use, they don't heal you. You know, it's witchcraft, man.
Yeah.
Potions. Well, it's one of the stores that got a goddamn cauldron with a little thing on it, man. You know. So we know that these hey man, these doubles, man, they bored this place upon witchcraft. They took it over, you know. You get that actually?
Yeah. Nahum 3 and 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft,
Mistress of witchcrafts, man. From the music, you know, from even these lights that, like, even a cop car, red and blue, lights on top. That's witchcraft, man.
Oh, the black and white.
Black and white, yep. Bloods, Crips. You know, it's something about that red and blue
Yeah.
stuff, man. It's
That
all
black and white go back to Mace.
masonry.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is why in specific movies they got them checkered floors, man.
Yeah.
You know, the Illuminati game, the chess game. You know,
I really hate that, bro. The Illuminati card game. That's stupid, man.
yeah, you got it. Yeah. Alright. It said the mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts.
selling nations or whoredoms and families by our witchcraft, man. You know, and that's the society today. This place is heavily roped with mass witchcraft. That's why these people are all jacked up out here, man. You know? Well, you got a Beyonce video come out, and she wearing a short top with some shorts, and then next thing you know, the whole week, that's what these women are wearing, man.
And listening to.
Right. Fucking Soulja Boy come out talking about he got a Glock in his backpack, and you got a whole bunch of niggas carrying Glocks in their backpacks, man. You know?
You got a question?
That's another book. That's another book.
See.
I don't know.
See.
What about this? What about this? Jesus Cristo es negro, no blanco. Blanco Diablo. Jesus Cristo es negro. That's a false image.
Que no te gusta que luce así. Porque o sea, la palabra diablo, nada más que quiere decir mentiroso. ¿Verdad? Él es un mentiroso porque todo el mundo cree que Jesucristo aparece a él, pero no aparece a él. Le parece más a yo. ¿Comprende? Si lees la Biblia, esa cosa ahí abajo. Si tú lees eso, te dice cómo luce el Señor. ¿Okay? Te dice cómo luce. Ellos tiraron todo eso para afuera y pusieron ese hombre.
People are destroyed for
Y era
lack of
un hombre
knowledge.
que vivía antes, se llamaba César de Borgia. ¿Verdad? Un hombre
I
que
will
era
also reject thee, that thou shalt be no
era
priest.
alguien real.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law that God,
Hay muchas mentiras, todo esto es lleno de mentiras que nosotros, el Señor en los últimos días tenía que
I
sacar
think that shit chills down our lungs, man. Because we grow up,
Yeah.
they grow up with this specific image in their head You know? And when we tell them, you know, the Lord is a so-called Negro, it completely baffles them.
Ninguno de ellos. Mira cuántos días hace al año diciendo mentiras. Eso es lo que hacen al año haciendo mentiras con la iglesia. Cuando ven tú oyes una, ya tienes que dar dinero. Y nosotros estamos aquí diciendo la verdad sin preguntar por dinero. No tenemos que pedir nada. Eso es lo que el Señor dice que los israelitas en los últimos días tienen que salir y hacer eso. Porque los últimos días son más santos, los más malos que hay. Pero todavía no ha llegado lo que viene. Lo que viene es más malo que la esclavitud, de Trail of Tears, de matar a todos los mexicanos y quitarlos de la tierra. Va a ser más malo que todo eso que viene. ¿Okay? Va a ser el diablo. Y esos son los diablos. Esos son los que tienen los bancos, ¿sabes? Que tienen dinero para comprar el mundo entero. Okay. Y ellos son la gente que se acaba todo esto. Ellos todavía van a estar aquí. Nosotros vamos a ser reyes. Y ellos van a ser los esclavos de nosotros. Y eso es lo que dice la Biblia. Queremos eso. Que le quiere quedarse con ustedes.
Over here, they got off the bus. Like,
Alguien lo tiene que hacer. Porque eso es lo que dice el Hijo de Dios. Right. Say, oh the Lord and everything learned in church, none of that is of God, that's of man. And I told her that's why God got to send men out here to tell it.
yeah. The church, Iglesias,
Profeta falsa.
sí.
Pues así, yo lo sé.
Sí.
Yeah.
Yo vengo de la iglesia católica y ya descubrí todo esto y me da miedo. Me da miedo.
She said she learned all about this in the Catholic Church and she's scared of the church. He came over to talk co-sign from again. The Catholic Church is the most criminal church I've
Yeah.
Él lo señala hasta con la mano izquierda
La
porque
papa.
Dios sabe por qué. Porque nunca es bueno señalar a la persona.
Yeah.
Sí. Y hace mucho
Say all the
sacrificio
people
humano.
controlled by Satan.
Yeah.
She said all the people walk around with their eyes covered. He prophesied.
Y ya hasta me
Bien.
da miedo, mi religión ya hasta me da miedo entrar a la iglesia.
They come over here ready. They having their own revival.
He probably like it.
Get this real quick.
Jeremiah
Yo los sacerdotes de allá del pueblo lo cogieron, lo sacaron, la gente,
that the story
al
is
abrir la
scared of sheep
realidad,
from my
lo
pastor,
sacaron.
said the Lord.
And that's why, you know, majority of our people, you know, niggas, Latinos, and Native Americans, like, came up here and the first thing they noticed is these false prophets, man.
Sí, es lo que
Why?
yo le digo a
Because
mis hijos.
a lot of our people are
Hijos,
realizing
no
the
hay
fact
favoritas,
that these
que refúgiense en la
Christian
casa,
pastors and
oren a
stuff like
Dios,
that,
porque van a venir algo muy fuerte.
they false, man.
Y
They only in it for money. You know, they wicked, them churches is wicked. So the Lord got our people waking up in specific different ways, man. You know? And you know what that does? That stops the flow of their money somewhere. Which they still got followers, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, us waking up, it stops the flow of specific things in these churches, man.
Just like when Yahushua was on the scene, when he was dealing with those wicked scribes and Pharisees, you know, Yahushua was talking about believe on me, you know, and have faith. What that was doing was it was messing up the wicked scribes and Pharisees, the priests, Sadducees. It was messing up their money, man. That's what it's like. No, don't follow him. You know, oh, that's blasphemy. He coming with. He's saying he the son of the Most High. It was really messing up their money and their position in the Roman Empire. You got that in John 12?
Yeah, I'm looking for you.
Hey, and that's just like the medical industry, man. What do they say? A patient healed is a patient lost. I mean, yeah, a patient healed is a patient lost or money lost.
So of course the doctor, I done went to doctors and said like, oh yeah, I've been taking this herb and that herb. And he shake his head like,
Yeah.
you know. But see, that's messing up their money.
Yep.
Yo los niños,
Yep.
niñas,
It should be John 12 or 11, maybe towards the end.
Yeah, John 12:42.
Yeah.
He said, nevertheless, among the chief rulers, also many believe on him,
Oh, Yahweh Shai.
but because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out the synagogue.
Yeah, because the Pharisees, they had influence, man. You know, which it was some Pharisees that believed. You had Nicodemus, you had Apostle Paul. You know, but majority of them, they was unbelievers, man. They was tapped in with the Sadducees. Some of them, which, you know, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they was different sects. But, you know, they had a high position in that Roman Empire. So if they all had a common enemy to come against to make sure their position is secure, then they did that, man.
Yep. And that's why the spirit.
Pero si fuera realmente
Yeah,
un papa
I
de
was
Dios,
watching Elder Yashuan did a video on this Christian pastor. He went into the port. You know what I mean? I forgot what his name, Pastor Gino,
Yeah.
something like that. And
Gino Jenkins.
and their whole thing is to combat us. You know, their whole thing is to combat us, and also to keep the people asleep. The reason that they combat us is because we come in the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and their congregation starting to be swept. Hey, they starting to find out. Look, man, y'all been telling us lies, man. Henceforth, a great awakening, man. You know, a great awakening. You know.
It says, verse,
That puts dents in their pockets, man. You know?
verse 43. For they love the praise of men more than the praise of the Most High.
Yeah, so they love the fame and the attention and the recognition they got, other than, you know, really looking at the prophecies, getting into the word of the Lord, really trying to see, you know, particular things in the scripts and line it up with the truth. They didn't care about that.
Because the priests, they was living good.
Yeah.
They live in the suburbs.
Yeah,
The Apostle Paul said Caiaphas, he lived like in a
palace. Yeah,
like a
and
mansion today.
when you go into the rights of the Levitical priesthood, you know, when we went to sacrifice particular animals, when we gave a portion of, you know, offering and certain things, you know, the first fruits of our increase, that went to the priests. That was for them and their family. I mean, you was offering it unto the Lord, but, you know, that was how we took care of the Levites, because that's one thing when I use this phone, motherfuckers call. But when you look at a biblical map, you don't see the land of Levi. Why? Because Levi was scattered amongst the tribes. You know, when you read about Jeremiah the prophet, he was a Levite. But it says that he was in the land of Benjamin. He wasn't a Benjaminite, but he was one of those Levites that was up in amongst those Benjaminites. When you read about Samuel was a Levite. His father, his father was a Levite, but they lived amongst the Ephraimites. So that's why I say Ephratah, you know.
Yeah, it don't mean he was the descendant of Ephraim.
Yeah.
He was an inhabitant.
I start where you go, senor.
He was an inhabitant of that land.
Yeah.
John 4 and verse 10. Yahweh said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when you shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship, you know not what. You know what we worship. For salvation is of the Jews.
Damn.
But the hour cometh, and now is.
I just got a dark feeling about that.
Yeah, because he was the
What'd she say?
Well, right?
Yeah, the Samaritan.
So she thought
Samaritan
this
woman,
is all
her
true, but she
forefathers-
was trying to bring her little points out. Before they walked up,
Our forefathers
know
yeah,
all of this.
So,
Okay? You must have a son or
so a
something.
little brief
He was
history.
telling, nah, this is the truth.
Nah.
And it was that they could converse, and finally at the end of the conversation, no, ain't no religions. That's us right there. We the people of the tribes now. That's what he told her. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna say nothing to him.
Yeah.
Because he told her that we the tribes. And she was looking at y'all like, that's why she stayed extra long and was looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
she had to put that together after he schooled on it. He said, all right, I'm out. And she was like, still looking
Yeah.
at her like, that's us now?
See, he will be like, if he do believe in the names and all that, he will be the elect, the 1/3.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he wouldn't be the governing body, 144,000, but he would just be of the believers.
Yeah. See, a believer, but what he don't understand now is the prerequisite of doing the law part. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know it, but just knowing the shit, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
gotta have to do it now. See
Gotta
what I'm
have to
saying?
work.
You gotta not save, you got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know to do that part, but he understands all that. He said, that's us now. See, look, he quoted out the, you know, the names of the people and the 12 tribes. That's us, we tribes now. We know religions.
Yeah.
That's the last thing he said to her before she left, before he left.
Yeah.
But they was going back and forth. You know, but she was trying to have her point. He wasn't having it. He was, you know, throwing down everything she said.
Yeah.
Man, spiritual cocaine, you know,
Yeah,
goes up around death, man.
Yeah.
And going the same
And-
exact way that lady going.
And that's a sign, man. Them crows, that's a sign too, man.
You know?
That's why I said I got soon as she left and that crow started singing, I got a bad feeling about that woman.
Because you see, with the spirit, when you brought this out, it looked like she had chills coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she said she had. I had to tell her what the word devil meant. You know, that don't mean no scary shit. Diablo means a liar. That's what it
Yeah.
means, a deceiver.
Yeah, this very good talking points, conversation
Yeah.
starters,
Yeah.
good talking points, man.
Yeah, it's still wrapped up in the stock market.
But to go on to now the Yahushua in John the 4th chapter, this woman that was at the well,
Oh my God.
this woman that was at the well, she was a heathen. She was a Samaritan. Because it says
House-
that the Jews didn't have no dealing with the Samaritans. Because the Samaritans, they were heathens. You know? Because when you go back to 2 Kings 17, Shalmaneser V had exiled the northern kingdom out of the land of Israel to
Syria.
Syria.
Assyria.
Assyria, which is Iraq today. And so after he did that, he had put transplants, which were heathens, to be called Israelites. They were basically imposters,
Yeah.
following our customs, but they were heathens though. So this woman, she thought she was an Israelite, but she wasn't.
Yeah. And you know, she probably was trying to be so-called, because you can be, and what's the term?
Converted.
You can be sincere. You can be sincerely wrong.
Yeah.
She was probably being sincere, but she was sincerely wrong. She was a woman, a heathen woman that's been told by her ancestors and her father, oh yeah, we Ephraim. We Ephraim.
Yeah.
You know?
That's just like the Khazars, man.
Yeah.
Talk to them. Now, have a one-on-one with them. You can't convince them otherwise that they aren't the Jews, man.
Yeah, why don't the world ever ask them questions
No.
like they asked us?
Because they got laws enacted to protect people who harass them.
Right. Case in point, just like them. Nah, my father told me, because down generation to generation, I mean, the kids gonna believe it anyway. You know?
Yeah. Oh, just like the Greeks, man.
Yep.
You know, you during that time, you had Israelites that were actual Israelites, but they was going off what they ancestors told them and they fathers told. Oh no, we not Israelites, we're Greeks. And,
The same scriptures our fathers have.
My whole time, bro. You still live over there?
Most not cursed because she always come, blonde hair and shit.
yeah. She got smoked with leprosy. You see her?
Man,
You never seen that on her?
she looked normal. Dark skin, but she would always wear like Edomite blonde hair, wigs and shit.
That's why it's beautiful being on the highways and the byways, man. You see all kind of stuff.
Man, that's crazy. But going back to St. John 4, verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
That's us. What we doing is in spirit and truth. That's what the Lord told us to do. You get, all we doing is what is commanded. This is a part of this is worshiping the Lord in truth and sincerity, man. You know, the true worshipers. if you're not doing this, like the apostle used to bring out a long time ago, Lord ain't got no time for no keyboard prophets.
Oh man, hell
They'll be
no.
sitting over there on the computer, commenting all day, you know, popcorn, you know, a drink, say, Mom, can I get a soda, you know?
And then you on a comment board saying, "Oh man, why y'all didn't pull this precept out? Y'all should have pulled this one out." Copy and paste. You know?
Right.
Like Pastor Ramos said, they got the hot chocolate, their money slippers on, their heart draws.
Tostito pizza
Yeah.
bites.
The AC on and shit.
You know, microwave. Oh, it's done. Hold on. I'll be right back. You know? But that's the type of character you got in this truth, man. I remember when I first came in to the spirit, you had a lot of that going on, man. And the apostles used to get on. Yo, man, y'all just on the, you know, on the keyboard. That's it, man. You know, y'all just every time we come, you know, we go on live or whatever the case may be, or YouTube, we just got these keyboard guys, man. They call themselves Israelites. You know, that's not the only job, man.
That's a bad name to have, a keyboard guy.
Keyboard prophet. You know?
Hey, you got some people that go great lengths to try to justify not having to go on the highways and the byways.
Yep. Great length, man. That's why, what is it, Luke 12?
This is the heritage of the prophets, man.
Yep.
All the men of the Lord, they was outside teaching.
Yep.
I mean, you had synagogues, which just is a Greek way of saying house, you know, that you taught in. We do it too. When we doing sit downs, we teach you. That's a synagogue, man.
I got you. Matthew 22:9. Go you therefore into the highways and as many as you shall find, bid to the marriage.
Yeah, bid to go out on the high. It was a commandment, man. It was a commandment. For us to do this, this is a commandment of the Lord, man. Go ye into the highways and byways and bid as many as you can to the marriage, man. You know? And this is how you wake the elect up, man. You know, the Lord's using the tool, right? The unicorn, yes. But a part of a large way that the elect got woken up wasn't by a keyboard prophet. All right? It was from specific men seeing the men of the Lord stand up on the highways and byways and bid as many to the marriage, man.
Yeah.
In great boldness, like the apostles did. You don't think Apostle Paul was out there teaching, you know, in the street corners, man, on the streets, man? How else would they have able to been trying to beat him, kill him? He was in the midst of the people, man. And you can't be in the midst of the people in your house, you know?
Yeah, because you gotta, you on the highways and the byways, this is where the Lord tests your metal at, man.
Yep.
You know, you get people get all in your face, and you don't know we didn't know this lady was gonna come up, you know. We don't know when these people coming up with their little questions, trying to bring forth their strong reasoning. We don't be knowing none of that. We come out here with the anticipation of, look, finna go do the work, man.
I do know one thing. Steps, righteous man, good man, is taught about the Lord. So
Yeah.
whoever come here, they was sent here. Do know that. Can't deny that.
We gotta deal with the elements.
Yeah, heat.
Well, our people wear sandals, so that concrete was hard as fuck. You know, standing up, you know?
Lord willing, you know, it probably wasn't concrete like this all over the place. It was using them stone bricks, you feel me? And I'm pretty sure they had areas where they was walking on ground because it spoke about, you know, having their feet washed and all that. But it wasn't like this shit for sure. Like it wasn't like this. It didn't look like a cave how it looks now.
That's all this reminded me of.
Yeah, I got it.
I got something too.
Isaiah 30:20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore. Thy eyes shall see thy teachers.
How your eyes gonna see your teachers? Less, can you get Proverbs?
Yeah.
With some kind of street. How your eyes gonna see your teachers unless they outside, man? You know? We got over here with the shot.
Isaiah 30:20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thy eyes shall see thy teachers. Verse 21. And thy ears shall hear a word behind thee,
This
saying,
is what we do. Your ears shall hear a word behind thee. Look, he walking in front of us right now.
Y en
You
cuántos
know?
minutos
But
da-
thy ears shall we hear a word behind thee. Go ahead. And that's a sodomite, man. That man is feminine as hell. Go ahead.
saying, this is the way,
This is the way.
walk you in it, when you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left.
Basically come back to the Lord, man. This is the way, walk in it. That can't happen. That can't happen if you're a keyboard prophet, man. That can't happen if you hide your face behind a computer all the goddamn time, man. A HP Pavilion computer, man. A MacBook, man.
Yeah.
You know? A tablet.
Then they don't even do videos.
Right? I'm just content with this. Then you'll get them, then you might run across them, you know, on Facebook or something. They might add you, then you see them posting up scriptures on when a holiday comes, you know? Oh, yeah,
Bothering
this is-
people.
Yeah. Oh, this is Jeremiah 10 Christmas. And that's all they put up for the whole year, man. Oh,
All on Facebook. Y'all better stop that. Y'all need to stop that. And they comments be so long.
man.
Long ass comment. Be straight. You be scrolling, bro, through their comment.
Thanksgiving come around, they got the 3 paragraphs breaking down Thanksgiving in the tribe of Gad. But you ain't never seen this person on the highways and byways. It's
You don't
on
even
the
know what they
keyboard.
look like.
Yeah, right. Stop eating that because this represents. They know it. They know the history and the meanings of things. But you'll never see them out here, man. You know.
All right, this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 21. Verse 20, Salakia. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets.
She uttereth her voice in the streets, and this is exactly where we're at. The chief place of concourse, right? All these major, grocery store, bonds, you got a gas station, you got specific store chains up and down the street. Shalom. You know? You got specific stores up and down the streets. You got
Public
the bus.
transportation.
Yep, public transportation. So this is in the midst of Jerusalem, man. In the midst of the city, because Jerusalem is a people before a place. That's literally what we're in the midst of right now. Because all that's walking, Shalom, sis. You know, all that's walking up and down the street is who? Israelites, man. And who was the law, statutes, commandments given to? Psalms. The word unto Jacob. Go ahead out.
Verse 21, she crieth in the chief places of concourse,
Yep.
in the opening of the gates.
Mainly where a lot of people go to what? To shop, where they go on a weekly or daily basis, you know, where there's heavy people traffic. You know, where they take the bus, I gotta get off here to walk up the block to get to my job. That's where we at, man.
It says, in the city, she uttereth her word, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and scorners delight in their scorner, and fools hate knowledge.
Fools hate knowledge,
Hey,
man.
that's pretty much what we say out here, man. How long y'all gonna be in that church, man?
right.
You know? And then you see how scorners is synonymous with the message, right?
Yep.
You got scorners because that's what you run into. You get people, oh, that ain't the truth. We didn't have women come up here talking about some, I don't believe you. You know, through our various experiences, you know? They'll walk by, they'll point at the sign.
Whole explanation though. You pulled out scriptures on that, bro, and everything.
It's because they don't believe in the Bible.
No,
They just believe what's commonly believed by the world. And the scriptures speak against that, man.
We waving the hand, but they shaking their head.
Yeah.
You know? That's mainly what you get, Salaki, brother. That's mainly what you get. You know, they see these signs, and a lot of people are really, you know, especially the Issachar, you know, a lot of the northern tribes, man, they were fascinated with these false prophets, man. Every time they walk by, they don't look at Caesar, you know, Caesar Borgia. They'll go straight to this, you know.
They don't never look at, de marketed a la besta. They don't never look at that. Seis.
Marca de la bestia.
Marca de la bestia.
That's because
Yeah, they don't never look at that.
these deal with the harsh reality of the truth, the bitterness. Can you get
Yeah.
Revelations 10? Got it out.
Isaiah 47,
Should be
Psalm
bitter,
47, verse
Uh-huh.
19.
mouth bitter in thy
He
stomach.
sure of his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel.
Yep.
He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise you, the Lord.
And that's plain to us. We have not dealt so with any nation, man. And these are one of the basic scriptures you learn when you first come into the truth. You know?
Salakia, which proves constant exclusivity
That's right.
and inclusiveness only to the children of Israel.
And we're not being mean. That's
You
what
know
the
what
Lord
I'm saying?
said. You're mean. Nobody else can come in. We can't be their friends. You can be their friends if you want to. Like the scriptures say, as iron rusts, so is his wickedness. You know?
Yeah, this is Revelation chapter 10, verse 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up. And
Now,
it,
so like, now, it doesn't mean you put a book on a plate, had a fork and a knife, and devoured it. It's talking about eating it up mentally or spiritually, man. Just like when you read, they call it what? When you read or you learn something new, they call it food for knowledge,
Food for thought.
you know,
Yeah.
or food for thought. So basically, the angel was telling John the Revelator to, you know, basically digest this book mentally.
you know, you call Second Esdras 8 and 4. Well, yeah, Esdras gave a good example of that.
And we have to explain it that way because our people are real docile. You know, they're destroyed for lack of knowledge, and they'll read this book like a magazine or a novelty book. You know, but the Lord gave us the wisdom not to understand it, to understand like, look, he didn't eat that actual book. All right, it was like the brother said, food for knowledge, man. You know, he read and he soaked up the knowledge, wisdom, and knowledge that was in the scriptures, man.
Second Ezra 8 and 4. So as I said, swallow then down on my soul understanding and devour wisdom.
Yep. Hey, Allah Yabashim Ashad is a perfect example. Swallow them down in my soul. And what does it say?
It says, swallow then down my soul understanding and devour wisdom.
So that's what John the Revelator did.
I want to make another point too, going back to the garden when Eve ate of the fruit of that tree of knowledge of good and evil. You know, she took in the philosophy from the nations that was around about her.
Yep.
You know, so it's not. First, it don't say nothing about an apple or a pear and
Right.
none of that. You know, it just says the fruit of the tree.
Salakia. Plus, the belly is also likened unto the mind.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? In the scriptures, you know?
because you gotta digest stuff.
That's right.
You know, you gotta let it sink into your mind. Revelation 10 and 9, it says, and I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall be in thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey.
Right. That's the sweetest honey part in this truth. You're an Israelite. The kingdom of heaven is for you. The Lord's coming back for you. You know, you're the most high chosen people. But the bitter part, right? You got amongst our people, like the brother brought this out. Can we actually get that? Revelations 13.
Yeah, they just
Dealing with the sea hip. This is going to be an actual. Man, this is a bitter part because the Lord said a false balance is an abomination to him. Proverbs 11 chapter. So it's we hear the good news. We're happy. We're happy. You know, when we hear the good news, which is the gospel. All right, the gospel of the kingdom. But also too, there's a side of it that look, man, you're gonna go through things. You're gonna go through that straight gate. You know, what is that? Second Ezra 7th chapter, Book shop.
Yeah.
After you get this, you're gonna go through that. You gotta go through that straight gate in order to make it there. So you gotta take the good with the bad in this truth. You gotta break this out of your mind state, right? That's bitterness to our people, man. You know, but it has to happen. That bitterness has to happen, man. It perfectly balances you out and it makes you better. Got it out.
This is Revelation 13:16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
Now this is a future prophecy. This hasn't happened yet, but it's on the upscale of happening. All right, because through the Spirit, where we go through the fourth industrial revolution, which deals with what? Technology, upscale and technology improvement, man. Which that's what this society has now. That's why for a period amount of time in this society, what was happening? Oh, we need exact change. Oh, we need a debit card. You got a C-hip, you know? The apostle saying C-hip. You got the charagma on your card, or you got tap pay. That's all introducing you mentally into another form of another currency that's going to take place. Because what's going to happen in this society is something called a great reset, right? When this economy crashes and specific things like that. That's why, hey man, it's gearing up all toward this. If you American peons, y'all can't see it. You know, the advancement in debit cards. Look, hey, back then in New York, when you would take the train station, I don't know about out here, probably was the same way, they used tokens. Now you got something called a Metro card.
Tap card.
Yup, tap card, Metro card. You know, buses, man. You put change now, hey, you gotta get a bus pass, you gotta use a card, you know? So they doing away with all this American debt dollar to introduce what we're reading about right now.
Body scan payment technology.
Yep. Everything's digital, everything's online,
QR code.
you know? Everything's a code, you know? Everything is Apple Pay, everything is Cash App. Instant transfer, you know? Remember we used to go to Western Union, you used to have to go to the store, write it down, give them the money. Yeah, can you send this? Yep, reference number. Hey, I'm gonna see the reference number right now. Now you can just go online and do it, man.
Yeah, they trying to simplify everything.
Yep.
It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
We know that word mark is charagma, all right? Which this double gonna make you receive that by way of what? The incision, man. And it's coming. All right, it's coming, man. You know, it's definitely coming. That incision, that implantable technology is coming. Receive a mark in their right hand, in their foreheads.
It says verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast.
How can that be Christianity? How can that be Christianity, man? What else do they say that is?
Embargo, sanctions.
Embargo, you know?
White women.
Oh my gosh.
You know? How can you can't buy or sell, man? How's it gonna be? It has to be something physical.
Incel.
Man. You know? It has to be something physical. Go ahead.
It says, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Embargo, man. And that's the bitterness of this truth. That's one of the bitterness parts of this truth. Why? The brother's gonna bring it out, seventh chapter.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to be in the midst of that. You know, but the Lord prayed for the elect, not to be taken out of it, but to be preserved from the evil days, man. You know, so we're gonna be in the midst of this, but the Lord's gonna preserve the elect. That's why it's so essential to be doing this work. But see, the elect are gonna understand that these times of trouble is coming. And the elect are going to understand that we can't enter into the kingdom without going through that straight gate, which is a position of difficulty.
Yeah, this is 2 Ezra 7, verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field.
Yeah, that's the kingdom of heaven.
And is full of all good things.
Yep. Because in the kingdom, everything's going to be good.
The entrance thereof is narrow.
Yep. And narrow is a very, straight passage. It goes through like a channel, a water channel.
Yeah.
It's very, very,
Straight.
yeah, very straight.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just like on that movie, I don't know, Indiana Jones, the last one, Raiders of the Lost Tomb or something like that. Raiders of the Lost Ark, when he had to jump on that thing through faith. There's like a little straight line to get to this like a eternal life type chalice, man. It was like a thin like line, man, and only one person can go walk on it at a time, man.
Like a tightrope.
Yep, a tightrope. Yep.
It says, and it's set in a dangerous place to fall. Where is that? It's Babylon. Babylon the Great is a dangerous place to fall. Because if you fall here, you're going to get burnt with thermonuclear destruction, man. Like as if there were fire on the right hand and on the left hand, deep water.
Yeah, because the scripture talking about trouble on every side.
Yeah. That represents danger.
Yeah.
You know, here it is, you know, we out here. Dude, before we opened up camp, was talking about, oh, just some gangs over here, and they don't like you over here, and, you know, all you do is see this, you know, the police running up and down the street, and we on the corner. A car can lose control and, you know, hit it. So we are in a dangerous place to fall, man. It says in verse 8, and one only path between them both.
Because every man got to work out his own salvation.
Yeah.
You can't be in this truth for another brother.
Yeah.
Or another. We can't even save ourselves. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be but one man go there at once.
I'm gonna say this. The scriptures talk about specific men also too trying to climb up another way.
Yeah.
You know?
It's only one way.
Yep. Well, I mean, yeah, like the brother said, there's only one way. If you're not teaching the 100% truth, right? Like you got specific camps that say, like we brought out, that the charagma isn't what it's talking about.
Yeah.
It's not a implant, so to speak. You know? Well, you're climbing up another way because you're not warning. You thinking you're gonna go into the kingdom of heaven, but you're not warning our people of what's to come in the prophecies, man. Which this is one of the major prophecies. You know, if you're trying to climb up another way, just because you don't believe that this is not what it says it is, all right. Just because you don't believe this is not the seed, that doesn't mean you're gonna make it into the kingdom, man. You know.
Or let's say, for instance, you're an Israelite and you don't take it.
Right.
I mean, you know, let's say, for instance, you're a so-called black man and you don't take that. You know, if you ain't repented and converted and worshiped the true power and called upon his name in truth and sincerity, ultimately, if you are not of the elect, you ain't getting up out of here, man.
That's right.
Yeah. It says, you know, it's talking about the said peril.
Yeah.
Destruction. And, you know, we got to go through. I was trying to ask another way. But had a father and he prays to the Father, had him follow Yahweh, he didn't answer. That was the answer.
And you know, the reason why we pose that is because we didn't got that out here. Oh, well, what if a white person don't take it? It don't matter. They Edomites. They get destroyed.
Right.
There's no other way to get up out of here.
And this is all a test. You know, this is all a test of our test of faith in Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Can you get Jude 1, that 5 verse for Shai? Because in the wilderness, man, Israel was being what? They were being tested, man. And they were failing miserably. You know? But that's why only Joshua and Caleb entered into the promised land, because they had faith, man. But like the Apostle Ramab said, man, in the wilderness, the Lord didn't impute Israel with faith, man. Yeah. He didn't impute them with that. Not even a small minimum of it, man. You know? But they were being tested in the wilderness. That's why when the Lord gave them the law, statutes, and commandments, man, through Moses, they were being tested, man. Yeah. Are you gonna follow this, follow that? And they were failing, man. Like the brother brought out, you know, who you say that took that Babylonian garment.
Oh yeah.
Lord told us we ain't supposed to take none of that shit, man. You know? It's like you brought out with King Saul, man.
Spies. Anakin.
Yep. And Israel's been tested. Israel's been tested to King Saul, man. He got tested. The Lord told him, look, man, kill off all of them Amalekites, you know. Don't bring none of their substance, none of that. Kill everything. What did King Saul and the people do, man? They brought back the cattle. He brought back the king.
The Amalekite king came back.
And you can only imagine how pissed off Samuel was, man. You know?
He was like, what?
Samuel part was like, that's the kid? He probably was like,
And the Lord said, I repented. The Lord said, I repented from making Saul king, man. That's how mad, you know? The Lord said, I repented from making Saul
Lord, like,
king,
man, I shouldn't even, man. Which we know that this is a movie of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Not that he was just really up there and just thought he made a mistake.
Right,
but it's just the vibration of this movie, you know? More Lord don't make mistakes. You know, it was all the things that were written aforetime are written for our learning, that we through patience and faith of the scripts might have hope. So all this is the will of the Lord, you know?
And that's why Samuel told Saul, better to obey the sacrifice.
Yep.
You do a lot of sacrifices, but if you don't obey, that's the main thing.
King Saul probably came over there like, oh, I got this one, this sheep for you. I got this one for you.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah. He said, what? This is sacrifice for the Lord. You know? Nah, you're supposed to obey. The Lord told you to kill that off. You know, I'm gonna take this sacrifice. He thought he was doing a good thing, man. But that ain't like the brother said. That the things that were written aforetime are written for our learning, because that's an example to be like, look, for us, like, look, hey man, King Saul did that. You know, we supposed to obey the voice of the Lord, man. If the Lord say don't do this, don't do it. That was an example, man. See, these little stories, like the brother said, it's a movie. These little stories and little things that the Most High had happen in our history, you know, were embedded for right now for our learning.
Yeah.
You know, to know what the Lord likes and what He doesn't like, man. Henceforth, we're getting back to knowing our power, man. That's what this is about. Because you got people that say, well, I know God, but they don't know the Most High. You know gods, you know, the gods of the heathens. Yeah. That's how this devil gets down. YOLO, you only live once, do as thou wilt. But our power, you know, hey, he's built upon what? You know, he's based upon what? Order. You know?
We got 10 minutes.
I'm sure.
Huh?
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a two-spirit.
Jude 1-5. I would therefore put you in remembrance.
Edomites live on the edge.
Though you once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not.
And destroyed them that believe not. And we brought this account out last week. How the Lord, when them spies went out to spy for 40 days, 40 nights, the Lord said, look, man, because y'all unbelief, when they came back with that report, that unfaithful report, the Lord said, look, man, for all them days that you went and spied out that land, you know, I'm going to have you wander around in the wilderness till you die off for 40 years, man.
Yeah.
But when Joshua and Caleb came back with the report, they told them saying, hey, man, nah, we can take this is our land, it's plentiful, it's good, they had faith, man.
Yeah, so that whole generation that came out of Egypt, they died in the wilderness, and the Israelites that entered into the land, they were the descendants of the children of those who died.
Yep.
But the only ones that came from that generation, that came out of Egypt and saw the great works of the Lord and the strangeness and all the salvation and all that, was Joshua and Caleb. Miriam fell, Aaron, Moses, all of them.
I was saying Caleb, he received the inheritance of for him being faithful.
James, the second chapter.
For Caleb being faithful, he received the inheritance of the land of Hebron. Man.
Yeah.
And he was 85. He even said he was 85 years old. He still was fit to go to war, man. Proving how strong our people was. Look at an 85-year-old now. Came and, you know.
Hey, brother was like, no man, look, I fought, moved, I did this and that, man. It's so my inheritance, my part of the land, you know. You know what I mean?
That was a good. That was a great thing, bro. Having your own land inheritance.
Yeah. This is James chapter 2, verse 14. What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith, but have not works?
Hey, and that's why, because when we first came out of Egypt, the Lord just brought us out through his strength, man. You know, through him. But now we got to work for it. Work ye out your own salvation with fear and trembling. We got to show the Lord our faith, for he can work. Show me your faith by your works.
Yeah, it's gonna get And the Lord brought the children of Israel out of Egypt because of the promise that the Lord made with Abraham.
Yep.
Thy seed shall be in a land, be a stranger in a land that's not theirs. And after what is it? 4 generations.
Yep.
4 generations, I will visit them and deliver them. Roughly paraphrasing. You know, not because the Israelites was in Egypt so righteous and, you know, going back to the promise that the Heavenly Father made with our forefather, our ancestor, Abraham. James 2:14. What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith and have not works?
Yeah, though a man say he have faith and have not works, man.
That's just like a woman telling you that she love you, she care for you, but she don't cook for you, she don't clean, she ain't folding clothes, she don't listen, she don't take instructions, she don't take criticism. All those are works. She ain't got none of that. But she come home 2, 3 in the morning talking about some she love you. She love her husband in word, but not in deed. She ain't giving up no box, no none, man. All she say is I love you. That's how these Christians is. It says, can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked, meaning, you know, without the truth, and destitute of daily food, you know, like you were saying. And one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled. Notwithstanding, ye give them not those things which are needful for the body, what doth it profit?
Right.
You know, so it's good to, you know, feed your people and teach them, you know, like we doing out here on the highways and byways, warning them of the things that's to come. That's what we feeding these people out here with. That's what we clothing these people. We clothing them with the spirit of truth. You know, like Job said, I put on righteousness and it clothed me. It's either Job or Isaiah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And Isaiah said, awake, put on thy beautiful garments.
Yeah, right, yeah. Even so, faith, if it hath not works, is dead being alone.
Right, because you got to show and prove, man.
Yeah.
We not out, I got faith, brother. Keyboard prophet.
Yeah.
You know? I got faith, tablet. I put a comment on it. I'm doing the work. No. We actually showing the Lord, like, look, man. You know, hey, you know, we first and foremost, repentance.
Yeah.
You know, this is a part of repenting too. Showing the Lord, look, we sorry. You know, we just trying to get right with you. You know, we want to get whatever we got to do to get right with you. That's what we gonna do. You know, yeah, we want to make it, but at the end of the day, we want to be right with our power. You know, we're in a repentant state right now.
Yeah.
We ain't got no power. We worms, man. You know, but that's why we're doing the work of the Lord. This is showing our faith. Like, look, we believe. We're sorry. You know, Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, come back to dealing with us, man. Deliver us and have mercy on us in the time of your wrath, man. It's really everything that's going to happen upon America, whether it be by Esau coming down, whatever, the missiles. It's all the wrath of the Lord, man. You know?
It says, even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead being alone. Yeah, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works, Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works.
That's the Heavenly Father. I will show you my faith by my works, man. You know? That's why we do what we do in this time. Because the Lord, hey, when the scripture say strive for the truth until death, and the Lord will fight for you. You know? We're doing this so the Lord can show us, like, look, I can deliver you, man. You know, I'm gonna deliver you. I'm gonna show you these strange acts, these strange works. Wisdom of Solomon in the 5th chapter.
You said that was the Heavenly Father?
Look at him.
No,
I
I
show you my faith by my
yeah, it was
works.
just an example.
Oh, concept.
Yeah.
Concept. Well, you can read it over.
Yeah. James chapter 2, verse 2 and 8. Yeah, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. What said a man?
Right, I should show you
Yeah.
my faith by my works. So we're showing our faith by our works.
Yeah, that righteous man, that's what a righteous man would do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so example, like your brother said, we're showing our faith by the works that we're doing.
Yeah.
Which is what we're doing right now. And also too, there's other works too. This is not just the Catholic. Brotherly love, charity,
The behind the scenes stuff.
the behind the scenes stuff on our everyday walk, man. A brother needs something. Hey brother, you good? You know?
Picking up brothers.
Picking up brothers.
That's a part of the work, man.
Yep. Because the scriptures say charity covereth the multitude of sins. You know? Hey, the Lord said, just as much as you told one of these little ones and gave them this and that, you know, roughly paraphrasing, you know, you have done it to me.
Yeah.
So that's a part of the work, man. If you're not doing that, you know, come on now.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out.
So it's more than just, you know, I know I'm an Israelite. I did listen on that a while ago, you know. You got them dudes that's out there like that. I know I'm an Israelite. That's cap. That's it. It's more than that, man.
Yeah, don't stop there.
You definitely don't. You know, you got to show and prove, man, or else you ain't gonna be delivered. We can straight up say that, man. You know, especially if you know it's gonna be worse on you, like the book of Luke says. Beat with many stripes. Those that know, but those that don't know, they're gonna be beaten with few.
Yeah.
Those that are beaten with many stripes, man, you're gonna catch the FEMA. You're gonna catch the sword coming down. You're gonna catch the famine. You know. But hey, a person, hey, all the way on to the missiles. The Lord will preserve you to the missiles. A person that don't know, he gonna be beaten with few stripes, meaning he might die from the famine. Mercy, you know, he might die, get a bullet put through his head by a FEMA troop, you know, guillotine, you know, something like that. He's gonna be beaten with few stripes. He's gonna catch it, but for you that know and have not doing the will of the Lord,
Tortured,
yep,
you know.
waterboarded.
Oh.
Stress position.
Yeah. Esau got you in that little machine, you like this, and your shit just getting stretched.
Yep. What do you think they make them saw devices for, man? You know? It's an actual prediction,
They made like 10 of them.
man.
Because it say in the scripts, the only way a man of the Lord is going to die during this time, correct me if I'm wrong, if his lot is to die, is to be beheaded.
Yep.
It don't say nothing about famine and,
Right.
you know,
Right.
you didn't got into it with these niggas out here and they done shot.
The scriptures say that the Lord shall preserve them, that basically saints
Put his trust in him, yeah.
That's a grievous judgment of famine, starvation.
Well, that's a judge. You know, we could probably close off on Ezekiel 5, the last couple of verses, because it says the famine was created for destruction. Ezekiel 5, maybe the last 3 verses.
Yep. Ezekiel 5:15. So it shall be a reproach and a taunt and an instruction and an astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when thou shalt execute judgments in thee in anger and in fury and in furious rebukes. I, the Lord, have spoken it,
So it's finna go into judgment, right?
And it says, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine. It said evil arrows.
Yeah, an arrow, it pierces you.
Yep.
It gets straight to you. So the famine is gonna get straight to these people, no matter how much food you got stored up, what type of emergency plan you got, you know, little remedies. The Lord is gonna get that famine straight to you, like an arrow shot, you know?
Those are scourges.
Yeah.
And then it says in 2 Esdras 16 that they those that flee to the mountain shall die of the famine.
Yeah, the Lord will shoot an arrow way out there in the mountains and get your ass, man.
Arrow, man, pretty much once it gets stuck in you, man, it's
Oh,
you know,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
can't just pull that out.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta break it off.
Yeah.
You know, pull one end out.
This shit, here it is, that motherfucker in there, you break it off, a little piece in there. Now you can't even pull it out.
Right.
If you pull the whole thing out, it's gonna bleed out.
Yep. And it says, and which I shall send to destroy you.
See, so famine is sent to destroy people.
Let me read that over to you. So like,
Yeah.
When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you. You got it, brother.
Yeah. So the famine is sent out to destroy people. You know, so if we are of the elect, you know, the hopeful elect, Lord willing, we endure to the end, that means we would have to be eating.
Yep.
What we eating and how much food, that's on the Lord. But we would we would have to be eating something. And when you think about it, you got a lot of people that's prepping, canned goods, water, shit stored up. Man, you gonna be just mistakenly stumbling over food, man. Oh shit, damn, got a whole box of, y'all want some?
Peaches or something.
You know?
Progress on the soup.
Yeah, the good soups.
Hey, and really, like you said, you know, they storing it up. You got these doomsday preppers. They don't know that they storing that food up for the man of the Lord.
Yeah,
That's why the scripture say in 2 16th chapter, they shall cast out and take away their goods. They shall cast them out of the houses, because a lot of these people that's storing up them goods, they kicking in the door, the troops dragging them out, putting them on the beamer wagon.
yeah,
And then, like the brother said, you know, the Lord's preserving us in these times. You stumble across this house, you hear a voice in your head, go to that house. You go up in there, it's a pantry full of, the Lord give you alkaline water, man. Alkaline water, you might have some yayan in there.
it's a box.
You know?
It's a box right now in somebody's house with your name on it.
Right.
That that the Lord put the spirit on them that have for you.
Right.
All the shit that you like. It's pregnant women going to the day parties and shit. Little bitch in the back. All right, we can finish up.
It says, and I will increase the famine upon you.
So the Lord is going to increase the famine. It's going to be the shortage of food and water is going to be increased. It's going to be all over the place.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And it says, and will break your staff of bread.
The staff of bread is your grocery stores. So it ain't gonna be no food. You trying to, I need to get to the nearest grocery store, man. Oh, there ain't gonna be no food there.
Yep.
The staff of bread, you going to that word, is something that you lean on for support. So that's your grocery store. Your markets, your grocery stores.
And all Esau has to do, because a lot of these foods in America are imported. So all, like the chicken and stuff like that, these specific foods, they're imported from out of the country. So all Esau really has to do is stop these specific ships or these specific cargoes from entering into U.S. soil.
Oh, you know what, bro? I just recently did a video. They said 86% of the meat that we get in America is from local farmers and ranchers. But the stuff that comes from out of the country is rice, grains, wheats, sugars, seasonings, things of that sort. You know, I just found that out. You know,
Okay, well, I think they were doing what they're sending chicken from over here,
yeah.
over to the country to get steroided up.
Oh yeah, probably, yeah. So.
And it says, so I will stretch out my hand upon them and make the land desolate, yea, more desolate than the wilderness toward Diblath, in all their habitations, and they shall know that I am the Lord.
Yeah, so this place is gonna be desolate out here, man. It's gonna be rioting and looting, sedition, love of many waxing cold. Then it's gonna be no food out here. Lawlessness, civil unrest, power outages, cannibalism. There's gonna be cars that ran out of gas. Motherfucker got in his car and said, I'm gonna ride this car till the wheels fall off. Car's gonna be stuck right in the middle of traffic, man. No gas in it. You know, abandoned like I Am Legend. There's cars and shit just all over the place. EMT, power outages, you know.
And it said, and they shall know that I am the Lord. So
Yep.
this is all the plan of the Lord. You're gonna know that the Heavenly Father done this, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you close out, Rock. Yeah.
All right, with that, we're gonna say call Allah Yullah,
Yahweh,
Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rahakwadash. Double honors to our apostles at Great Millstone who will wear the tars as truth. Peace, love, and blessings and salutations to you, Akim, that are a part of the Bayasha Dalakada House of David. To you few sincere sisters that are sincere watching. You know, Shalom and Barakatah to you too. This is this week's camp for the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Shemel Shine. A Bible ball to America, Babylon.
Yeah.
You know, till next week. Shalom, man.
Shalom, Shalom, Malcolm.